Now, over 2,000 delegates are expected to attend Cosatu's 14th National Congress, which is set to kick off this morning. The Trade Union Federation is expected to report on the work done on behalf of its members since the last Congress and also take stock of the state of the organization. Our reporter Mbali Thethani joins us now live from Midrand. And Mbali, there's a lot on the agenda kicking off this Congress today, not least of which the relevance of Cosatu insofar as the plight of workers is concerned.
That's certainly right, Michelle. Of course, this Congress takes place at a very difficult time, especially a difficult time for members of this organization, especially for workers as well. You'd also know that South Africa, continues to face a major problem when it comes to a high unemployment rate. And also when you look at the issues facing workers, but also zooming into the issues around, unions itself and the dwindling membership. But we're going to bring in now the president, or the outgoing President for Cosatu, Zingi Salosi. Mam Zingi, thank you so much for having this interview with us. If you can just tell us, there's a lot on the agenda for this 4-day conference. When it comes to the first day for this conference, what can we expect this morning?
Thank you very much indeed. Firstly, we expect to have accredited over 2,100 delegates, and so we expect about 2,500, including our guests. We have invited the other 3 federations, Cosatu, Fedusa, and NACTU, to also come and join us. And it's going to be a very robust discussions, debates that are going to take place. We expect a mood that explains what workers are going through. We expect workers to express their pain through songs. We expect workers to express their celebration of their victories through songs. But what is going to be confronting this Congress is exactly about the high levels of unemployment in our country. Workers have lost jobs, sectors have suffered. And we expect that the discussion and the debates must be about how we are going to build ourselves first as a federation, because if we are going to address issues of collective bargaining, if we are going to address issues of socio-economic challenges that the country is faced with, we need a strong federation. We need strong unions in our sectors. We need unions that are able to service their members, unions that are able to fight for workers at the workplace. And this Congress has an opportunity to really reflect honestly on whether Cosatu is strong, whether unions are unions that are alive, so that they are able to confront all those challenges that workers are faced with. We have a bleeding economy in our country that has shed jobs. We have a crisis of energy where it makes it difficult for investors to come and invest in South Africa. It also gives an opportunity for businesses to then start retrenching and put workers on short time. And these are painful realities that workers that will be gathered here will have to be confronted with. And so we expect robust discussion and debates.
This conference takes place at a time where just remembering the events of May Day, and one would say that when you look at the issues around collective bargaining, I'm sure that is something that these workers will want addressed here at this conference.
Definitely. In all sectors, by the way. It's not just in the public sector. Issues of collective bargaining are cutting across. Remember, when we raised the issue of when we won the national minimum wage and it got to be implemented, bosses in the private sector made an excuse that they are unable to pay the national minimum wage because it is then setting up for retrenchments. And they started retrenching workers, and they started making excuses because of COVID why they could not implement collective bargaining agreements also in the public sector. This are the realities and painful realities that workers are confronted with here. So we said, remember, when we went on a Section 77, it was targeting government, it was also targeting the private sector, because collective bargaining cuts across and it has been undermined in all sectors of our economy. It is going to be an issue that this Congress must confront and deal with.
You'll also have to address the very difficult problems when it comes to a dwindling support or membership thereof when it comes to unions. One would say that, over the past couple of years, we've witnessed just your membership continuing to decline. And I'm sure that this is something that, as Cosatu, is high in the agenda, because one would also question, are you still relevant?
Indeed, hence I said initially that we have to make an assessment of ourselves first. How are we going to build ourselves? The target for Cosatu is 2 million members. What are we doing? And we are going to ask those questions for delegates to answer. What are we doing in our different sectors? What is the recruitment campaign? Are we servicing our members? Are we unions of choice in the sectors that we're organizing? Because without a strong union, surely workers are going to others are going to resign, others are not going to join. So what kind of shop stewards do we have on the shop floor? Do we still have shop stewards that pay attention to members? Because recruitment is not so difficult, it is not so expensive. For as long as you are able to pay attention and service your members, others will envy to become members of your union. And this is what this Congress must confront with. But of course, the other reason for dwindling of membership has been due to the economy retrenching and shredding jobs. And this is what has also contributed to it. But also remember the fourth industrial revolution. But we're also saying the fourth industrial revolution, when it came in, it also created alternative sectors of the economy. Are we tapping into those opportunities that have been created by the economy? And these are hard questions and tough questions that this Congress must respond to.
There are murmurs that, should the president of the ANC make his way here, he can expect a hostile environment. Can we expect the president of the country to come here today in his capacity, obviously, as the ANC president? And, what is the sense you're getting from your members? And this, obviously, looking back on what happened on May Day.
Look, we invited the African National Congress and they said to us the president will be coming to speak on behalf of the ANC. And workers will express how they feel. Workers are angry. It is not a secret that workers are hurt. Workers are angry. Workers are angry towards the ANC itself. And workers will express themselves here through songs, probably in different ways. So let's see. I can't, preempt how the reaction is going to be.
All right. Thank you very much. Of course, that is the president of Cosatu, or some would say the outgoing president of Cosatu, Zingisa Losi. Just also they're speaking about how they've invited the ANC, and we are indeed expecting the president of the ANC to be making their way here. And the president also comes at a time where you'd remember in 2017 that it was the likes of Cosatu that made their pronouncement, and this also in line with what we are expecting and seeing in the likes of the ANC as they head to the elective conference.
Mbali Thethani, thanks very much indeed. Live to us there in Midrand.